If you are under the age of 18 and you are watching this video, please stop now. This content is not intended for you. Hey everybody, this is Tmika and I am here with another purse tutorial as part of my purse series. I think this is purse number 4 if I'm not mistaken. I'll have the playlist for all of the purses down below in the description box if you guys are interested. So here is another purse idea where you can load this up just in time for Mother's Day, your mother-in-law, your aunts, your siblings that are mothers, just in time to give this cute little Sunday best purse, or you can just load it up with gifts and things to give to another scrappy friend or whatever. It's a great gift box. It's a nice dimensional box. This dimension is 3 inches. Of course, you guys can alter this as wide or as narrow as you'd like. I thought 3 inches was a good amount to have as a gift. And so yeah, it's a beautiful hexagon shape. You don't need any dies for this, no cutting machines. Of course, if you have them that you can make a hexagon file for, awesome. And so we're going to make it here from scratch. Also, if you have a printer or printer available to you, you can go online and Google hexagon image, print it out, and cut it. That's easy too if you don't want to do it this way. So I wanted to make it easy for everyone to be able to create one. So this is how mine's turned out, and I just picked some soft, pretty pastel colors for Mother's Day, and that's how this looked. There's pearls all around the edges. I have 2 butterflies adorning the sides here. Those are from my stash, as well as this actually was a bag topper from a swap that I used. And that's the good thing about you putting your stuff on display. You got to see it and you're like, oh, I can use this, and it makes projects so much easier. Here's the handle, and there's pearls all along there on the side, and at the bottom I have faux feet. Yeah, super cute. I really like how this turned out. I have 2 Velcro dots. There's an eyelet holding mine together. You can use a brad. I didn't close the eyelet or push the eyelet tight so I can move the handle out of the way, so I'm able to open up my box, which is attached using small Velcro dots. And look at that. I even matted the inside. I just love this box. It's a nice deep box. Look at that. My whole, it's a deep box. Pretty good. You can use your 6x6 pattern paper to cover this box. So you'll need 8.5 by 11s to make it, but you can use 6x6 paper for this box. So I had just given you an idea. Put some little tissue in here. You put your gift in there. Put your little tissue paper just to make it all super cute and snazzy. And then you just close it back up. Of course, you can use magnets if you like. You put your little purse handle back up, and we are good to go. So enough chit-chatting, guys. Let's go ahead and get started with making this purse tutorial. So you will need the basics to make this tutorial: paper trimmer, scoreboard, bone folder. You can use your trimmer for your scoreboard if you like. Hot glue, wet glue, dry glue, whatever kind of adhesive that you like. And your pattern paper and your cardstock. So I'm going to give you the measurements here really quick, and I'm going to try my best to put them in the description box, but always watch the video. You can get your measurements and you can write them down. So we're going to start out with some cardstock that is 5.5 by 4 3/4, and I'm using craft cardstock to show you guys how to cut it. But the paper that I'm going to use for the purse project is a combination of Amila Rose by Prima in a 6x6, because I'm using black cardstock to help with the flash on the video. And then I am also using the remnants from this paper. It's a Hobby Lobby paper pad, and I, for the life of me, can't remember the name of it. I know you guys are saying something. Maybe it's Bloom, I'm not sure, but this paper, really pretty paper. We all had it, we all got it, but that's what I have left. So I'm using like the black and white elements because I don't have any paper in the Amila Rose that would work for that. So I decided to just pull in some black and white elements. All right, so this is, oh, forgot to mention you'll need a ruler because we're not using cutting dies, so you'll need a ruler and a pencil. All right, so the measurements are as follows. It's super easy. You don't need, like I said, any fancy equipment, but you will need a ruler. this is your cut. It has to be cut exactly at 5.5 by 4 3/4. That's how we're helping the measurements along, so you can do the least amount of mistakes. And then we're going to start on the 5.5 inch side, on horizontal, from the top corner. We're going to make a tick mark at 1 3/8. So literally from the top corner, all right, on the edge. So I'm going to line my, you don't even need this cutting mat. I'm going to line my ruler up with the 1 inch, the starting mark, and I'm going to tick at the very top of the paper. I'm going to tick 1 3/8. So 1 and 1, 2, 3/8, a tiny little mark. All right, keeping my ruler there, I'm going to tick again at 4 1/8, right there at the top on the edge. Let me bring it up to you so you can see. 1 3/8 tick mark, 4 1/8 tick mark. I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom, right at the edge. I'm going to put my ruler under the paper so that I can get an edge mark. I'm going to make another 1 3/8 and 4 1/8. Boom and boom right there. Okay, and then also I am going to go over here to the left edge right here, and I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to measure down to 2 3/8, starting right at the top. I'm going to measure down to 2 3/8. 1, 2, where am I? 1, 2, can't see. 1, 2, 3. Right there, 2 3/8. And I'm going to do the same thing for this side. My number right at the top, starting off. Going to move back an edge a little bit so I can get it right on the edge. 2 3/8. 1, 2, 3/8. Tick mark goes there. All right, so we should have 1 3/8, 4 1/8, 1 3/8, 4 1/8, right along here on the side, 2 3/8, right along here on the side, 2 3/8. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do is just to connect the dots. So from the very top, so it's going to go from edge to edge, literally, not your dot or where your dot stops, literally from that edge to that edge. So connect that one at an angle, and we're going to connect these at an angle. Making sure we got it right here. Push my ruler down. Okay, we're going to connect, and turn my paper, we're going to connect these down here. And then this one in the bottom. All right, so this is what you should have. Left slant, right slant, down, down. Okay, we're going to take our scissors and go ahead and cut that out as neatly as you can. Now don't do this on your cardstock. This is your template, so cut this out on some sturdy cardstock so you can have it, because you need to make you need to make 4 of these. All right, so then this is what you should have. It's the cutest little hexagon. So you're going to take this, and I'm just going to grab a sheet of paper here, random sheet. You're going to take this and you're going to put it on top of your base cardstock, whatever your base cardstock is, your plain. In my case, I'm going to do black. And then you want to carefully trace this out with a pencil so that you can erase any marks later, like if you have white cardstock or something like that. Trace it out. You can get 2 of these on the same one sheet of 8.5 by 11, or you can use 6 by 6 or whatever, if you like. So you want to take your scissors, carefully cut these out, and you need to make 4 of these. So 1, 2, do it again 2 more times. Now so when you get this and you want to offset it a little bit, you cut it out, and then you can, just take your scissors and slightly just measure, like a 1/4 inch or whatever over. Take it, measure this on top, however low you want your offset to be. You can measure that, take that little sliver piece of paper. So So you know you have the same amount of measurements all the way across. Take that sliver and copy that sliver all the way around. Remember, after do this if you're not cutting it twice. One for the base and one for the offset. Do this after you've already traced out all of your main pieces. So you get the drift. You're gonna cut that, so this will be your offset piece. You want to cut on all those lines all the way around. I think I missed a couple, but you guys get the drift. This will be the piece that you use to offset when you get done for your layers on your paper. Alright, so I've cut out my pieces. You're going to need 4 of those. 2 for the front and back, and then 2 to be covered on the inside after you attach your flanges. So make sure you cut out 4 of those. And then I have 2 offset pieces. Now these are, you know, cut down a little bit. So I have 2 for the inside, and these will cover the flanges once they are attached. And then I have my front and back piece for the front of my purse. I have 2 of those. These are the same size. And then for the inside of mine, I'm going to cover those as well. You don't have to, but you'll need 5 pieces. And this measures 2 3/4 by 3. So you want to just cut them down maybe 1/8 of an inch smaller so they can close the box a little bit better. So cut those down. Remember, the measurement here is 2 3/4 by 3. You'll need 5 of those inside pieces. You'll need 1 piece that should match the back. It should match this cardstock. You need it cut out at 11 by 5. And you need another piece cut down to 5 by 2 3/4. And then to cover the outside of that, I'm going to do this design. And again, this measures the 2 3/4 by 3, and I cut them down to 1/8 of an inch smaller. So I think that's all that. Oh no, I need the closure piece, and this is cut down to 3 by however long you want it. So this is 3 by 6, and then I got a piece to cover it, which is 2 7/8 by 5 7/8. So that's that. All of the measurements will be down below, so it's super easy from here. Let's go ahead and put this together. But wait, I forgot to tell you about the handles. We'll need the handles, and since I said we can use 6 by 6, you'll need 2 pieces cut at 2 by 6. All right, we'll get to that in a second. All right, we're going to start out with taking that piece that's 11 by 5, and on the 5-inch side, we're going to score at 1 inch on both sides. 1 inch on the left, 1 inch on the right. All right, and on that piece that's 2 3/4 by 5, on the 5-inch side, we're going to score at 1, flip it, and then we're going to score at 1. So we're going to take the long piece, this 8.5 by 11 piece, and we're going to cut these down, just this piece down, to 4 pieces that are 2 3/4 inch long. 1, 2, 3, and this last piece should be 2 3/4. 4. Okay, so we're going to fold over all of our score marks and give them a crease. Alright, so at this point we should have 5 of these little flanges, and I'm just going to stack a few of these up so I can do them at the same time. I'm going to miter the corners, just give them a little trim so that they can sit together, they can play well together. And all I'm doing is taking them from the corner score mark and going at an angle on both sides. Hopefully your hot glue is on if you're using hot glue, because we're getting ready to attach these all together. So you're going to take one of your main pieces, your hexagon piece, and it's going to attach just like this. You're going to add hot glue to this flange, fold it down, and just lay it right on top. So I got my hot glue on there. I'm going to match it up to my edges as neat as I can. Press it down. I'll take my bone folder while it's hot and kind of rub that in. And I'm going to repeat that all the way around. This is why that mitering comes in handy, because nothing is bumping against each other. They're all playing nicely. So Remember, they're only 5 because we got to leave an opening for the purse. Okay, so now we're going to take one of the other pieces that we cut. It should be the same size, not the offset pieces, and put some hot glue on here and cover this up. Being careful not to go over the edge, especially here on the front purse part, the opening. So that's all covered up. Now you can go ahead and get your offset piece, and you can put that on there. Make sure I get that right center. Looking nice. All right, now you can get your little pieces. If you've decided to cover up the inside flaps, go ahead and attach these. Now remember, these are the pieces that were 2 3/4 by 3, and you cut them down 1/8 of an inch smaller. All right, that's all done. Super cute, shaping up nicely. It's going to be so adorable. All right, so now we can go ahead and grab the other piece. It should be the third piece. All right, and we're going to do the same thing, only this time we're going to add hot glue to this flange on the opposite side. So I got my hot glue added. I'm going to take my piece and I'm going to sit it right on top, right there, just like that. I am seriously irritated right now because I just finished this box and I wasn't recording. And I just finished this whole thing. So I'm going to continue from here. So all I did, so you guys, I left off at the one flap, just finished folding over all the rest of the flaps. And, oh my gosh, do I have to do that over? All right, guys, I could not allow myself, like the teacher in me, would not allow myself to let you guys assume and figure out that in your imagination. I'm pretty sure majority of you can, but for those who need to see it, this is a tutorial, so I went ahead and cut out a second one to show you guys, and I used just the scraps that I had nearby, and this is where I left off on the other box. So I'll do this portion with this box, and then we'll resume, with the other box as planned. So this is where we left off. And we're just going to continue to, we've already attached the one flap. We're going to continue to add glue all the way around. And being careful to make sure you line up all of the marks just right at, because there's going to be a little bit of a tiny little crack gap. But you want to just line up that bottom piece with bring it up right up to that point. Just like that. So it's just as straight as possible. And then I just seal it. So this is what I was saying. There's going to be a tiny little space. So if you don't want to do the parts that follow, you don't have to. And I'll show you how to wrap everything. But if you don't want it wrapped, you want to leave it like this, at least nothing will fall out if you do it really, really close. So I'm going to do it again. Okay, I'm adding my hot glue. I'm just going to tuck this in and line it up right with that edge. And then I'm just going to smooth that out. And repeat it for the next 2 steps. And the last one here, just line that up. Alright, so that's the inside of the box. Of course, it's not matchy-matchy. So we do have this piece here that needs to be covered. So that's when you take your base. And I am going to use double-sided tape or ATG tape for the perimeter. And then I'm going to add hot glue to the middle because we kind of have to squeeze this in a little bit to fit through there. So I'm just going to match it up. That's the way that I need it to go in. Kind of bend that a little bit, pop that out, and it literally just pops in there itself. And take your bone folder. Kind of make sure that hot glue gets kind of flush all around the edges, and that covers the flanges that we just created. And then for your coverage layer, because you got to even it out there, unless you didn't add an offset piece, then you don't have to do this. So you would just do that, cover up your flanges and then leave your box as is. But I did a coverage layer for my original box. So I'm going to do the same thing, match it up, make sure that's the direction I want it to go. kind of piece it in there and drop it. Take my bone folder, fill that in, and now we have a complete box. Okay, and then we're going to take a, we're going to start our closure piece layer, and then we'll finish the rest of them with the other box. So this piece is cut to 3 by 6. All right, and then you want to score at 1 inch and 4 inches. Now I took my end piece here, not the 1 inch side, but the longer side, and I rounded the corner, just like so. I'm going to fold over all my score marks. Alright, and on this edge, not the rounded part, we're going to add some hot glue because that's going to go to the back. Now if you have a preferable paper or side that, like if you messed up on a side or something like that, then make sure you have that placed where you want it so that that little piece goes in the back. So I'm going to add my hot glue to the inside of this small part. Alright, and I'm just going to lay this right on top. Close that. Just use my bone folder to secure that, just like so. Just have your piece all connected. And then the last thing where I left off at before I realized I was recording is your second offset piece, your decorative piece, or not your second, your fourth. If you covered the inside, you'd have 2 already done. So this would be piece number 3 if you did that. And then take that offset piece, and that's going to cover up that base back there that you used, that you put on there. So that's where we are. So now we're going to go ahead and continue with the rest of the tutorial. So sorry about that, guys, but let's get going. So here we are, right? The side panels. Now on the other one that I did, I put mine in a different color. This is the opportunity. My base is white. I got pattern paper here, and I got regular cardstock here. So if you want to make this a different color, feel free to do that. I'm going to keep mine all the same because you'll notice that there's some little gaps here. They connect. You can leave that like that, and it looks fine. Nobody would notice that. But if you want to go ahead and wrap it, just add this piece here. And again, it's 3 by, it's 8 1/4 by 2 7/8. So that's just a little bit offset of what this one is. It's 1/8 of an inch smaller. So, oh, y'all, it's 2:30 in the morning. I should just be asleep. But we're going to keep moving because we're almost done. So I'm going to add tape, a generous amount of tape to both of these pieces because they are going to wrap the box and we're going to need them to be stable. Again, on the other one, this is the one that had another color, so another, pattern paper. So we're going to start with the side panel, line that up. It's a little offset, like I said. So I just got a little bit off from the edge, and I'm just going to follow it along, making sure I stop to crease as best I can. And then it's going to end at the bottom. But make sure you go ahead and, define those fold over pieces. You can even use your bone folder to get that sharp, smooth finish. And then grab your other one and start on the opposite side. Plus this adds a little bit more stability. And do the same thing. And just follow it along. Making sure you define those folds. And then it should line up with your bottom piece. And then just grab your bone folder. Make those definitions. Done. Now it's super smooth. You can't tell, and it's extra sturdy. So then we're going to take our little pieces. Again, this is the 2 3/4 by 3, and then I just offset them a little bit smaller. We're going to add them to the panels. That's all done. Super cute. Okay. And then, so now we just have, we can place the front panel on, this one here. If you want to do a magnet instead of Velcro, you want to put that on obviously before you put this panel on, so you can't see it. Alright, so that's all done, and now I'm just going to cover my closure piece up. I'm going to do two colors. My base is going to be pink, and then I cut this down to 1/8 of an inch shorter, so it's 2 7/8 by 4 7/8, and this is 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. It's just 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. All right, so I rounded the bottom of the paper, and then I'm going to start here because that's mainly what people see. Make sure that folds on there. And then I'm going to add my cover piece. How super cute is this box? Alright, now we can add some Velcro. Take off the backing, and then that way, you know, they line up on top of each other exactly. And then kind of squeeze that on there. Again, you can use magnets here if you like. So that's done. Now let's make the handles. So we're going to go to the handle pieces that are 2 by 6. There's 2 of those. Alright, and we're going to score that, both of these. On the 2-inch side, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, and then flip it and score at 3/4 of an inch, and do the same thing. Okay, we're going to fold those over and give them a good press. We want to connect these two with double-sided tape. I would not use hot glue. It'll be chunky and you won't be able to manipulate the paper as well. So connect those 2 ends together, line them up with the score mark, and then press it again. Alright, on the 1/2 inch side we're going to add some double-sided tape, not hot glue. And then we're going to flip it and do the same thing to the 3/4 inch side. Flip that down. Probably don't want to use stripes. I mean, you probably want to line up your stripes. Yeah, I'm not going to like that. Alright, so the stripes and I weren't working out that well, so I'm just going to use plain black cardstock. So yeah, the patterns were mismatched, so that's not going to work. So once you get your paper connected, you want to go ahead and gently fold it over, pull it over with your bone folder to get that nice curve in your paper. And then we're going to go ahead and apply it to our purse. So what I did was just use the length of my crocodile, center it the best way I can at full length, right into on the first panels on the left and the right. Okay, then I'm going to fold these ends together and punch a hole there. Alright, so, and then I'm going to match up the holes. You can use a brad or an eyelet for this. I have some We Are Memory Keeper eyelets I got a while ago from Tuesday Morning in black. I'm going to fit that in there, and then I'm not going to push it hard all the way in because I want to be able to move my handles, and I don't have any brads this size, so or any brads at all. So I'm just going to use the eyelets, but just not push them in all the way, so they can have a little give to be able to move. That's on there. Close that top with the Velcro, and we're done. So all you need to do at this point is, if you want to add feet, I added little feet to mine. You can certainly do that. You can add pearls all around the side. You know, I did that. So what I did was with my handle was I kind of bent it just a little bit, kind of pinched it like this, a smidge, just to give it a little bit of, you know, you don't have to do that, so it'll look less, you know, formal. Kind of bunch it up like that. Feel free to add pattern paper to that or what have you. So that's the end of this tutorial. Hope you guys got it. Sorry for that little mishap in the center, but if you have any problems with that part, leave the comment down below. So that's the one we just created. Here is the first one that I made. Just super, super cute. You know, add your tissue paper, you know, do all that stuff to it if you'd like. And then I made another one that I think is absolutely gorgeous, and I made this out of clear, or out of acetate. Super cute. It is holding all things embellishments in it. These embellishments were mostly created by Buzzin' with V. So I think this turned out so cute with the clear handle. I mean, it makes a good little display on in my craft room. And then she has this little clip on hers, so I added the clip as well. And then, you know, all of these cute little embellishments are displayed. And this makes a great gift too if you want to give it as a craft gift for the recipient. So these are the purses. I hope you guys like that and will try that. If you do, tag me on Instagram. I will talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye. Time to take a nap.